Habitat for Humanity Niagara is a nonprofit organization that brings our community together to help families build strength, stability, and independence through safe and affordable homeownership. With the help of volunteers and generous donors, Habitat Niagara builds decent and affordable homes that provide a solid foundation for people to better their lives. And joining me here is Sarah Pritula, the Director of Philanthropy and Major Gifts, right here in the Habitat for Humanity Restore in Grimsby. We're so excited to be here on location.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
So why don't you tell us about the current build projects that you have underway in Niagara, and then we'll get into the estimated completion date.
Sure. So we are actually starting or getting ready to start a build in Welland, which is 6 townhomes. After that, our phase 2 will kick in, and there'll be an additional 3 townhomes on that lot in Welland at Plymouth and First. And then following that, we're going to do 16 townhomes on Niagara Falls. So we have a busy couple years coming up.
Absolutely. Now, how does Habitat Niagara find the land to build on?
Land is always a challenge for us. We work really closely with our mayors and municipalities to ensure that, you know, they're always on watch for us. They are making sure that we're able to access some of the land. We also work with private developers, and we have some private donors that also give.
So if there are any private donors or developers that are watching this and say, you know what, I think I'd like to help out, how do they go about doing that?
So they can reach out to our office. They can reach out to Mark Carl, he's our CEO. They can reach out to myself, and we will start the conversation.
So do any of the families selected to become future homeowners of these homes? How does that work?
Yes, so we actually are refining our process. What we're doing is we open up applications per project.
Okay.
And so every time a project is about to start, we have a family services committee. We have an application process. There's a questionnaire where families can go online just to see if they're eligible. And if they're eligible, we invite them to take the next step, which is, here's a little bit more about Habitat, here's what's required of you as a family, and then how to get them engaged and involved. So it's a pretty lengthy process, about 8 steps for them, but the families that we select are all really lovely and wonderful.
And do you often have a lot of people who are trying for these homes, who are submitting?
We do. I think the last number that we heard of, so for the individual homes, was approximately 70 applications per house. And so we're going to be opening up to 6 homes. We would hope that the number would go down, but we know that with the cost of affordable housing, that the number will probably stay the same and go up.
And how do you find the local governments are helping in, with the projects here? Are they receptive to it?
Very receptive. So we're really lucky with our CEO, Mark. He is very well connected to the local government and their teams, making sure that we're always in their mind, you know, making sure that affordable and attainable housing is always forefront of the conversation. And I think for us, we work really closely with Habitat Canada, and they make sure that there is a larger, more national conversation that's taking place.
So how does Habitat Niagara fund these project builds? And again, let's get back to how other people can get involved and help.
Yes, it's a great question. So we do a lot of it through grant writing. We do it through corporate and private donations. We have a lot of legacy giving that takes place, but we work really closely with corporations who are engaged in the Niagara community, and they can help build, donate their time, their talent. So if they're in a trade, a lot of them donate their labor or their materials. And then, of course, we do corporate donations as well.
And just for you here on a personal level, what goes into all of this? I mean, what's on a day-to-day? What are you working on?
Gosh, so for our team, we're always looking for funding and for finance and gift-in-kind donations. But for the rest of the team, they're busy behind the scenes working on permits, making sure the trades are in order. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes, and it doesn't just happen overnight. It takes a couple years to work up to, build up to, before we can even start breaking ground.
So what would be some of the services that you would like to have, so besides the trades, to volunteer their time? What would be some other ones that you would like?
So gift in kind, so material. So we had a donor step up and say, hey, I'm going to donate all the doors for your sixplex and all the trim for your sixplex, which is, it's really exciting. But we also have donors that step up and say, hey, we can't donate materials, but we can donate funds. And so how much, are you looking for? And that's when we start having those conversations with corporate donors to say, how do you best want to serve Habitat and how does your team want to get engaged? Because we do something typically every year, we know that the businesses are just waiting to, jump on board. They love to get in. They love to, in addition to, donating funds, they love to help build the house and work alongside the homeowners that are with us. So they get their hands dirty, they paint, they can lay flooring, lay trim, all that kind of stuff.
Great.
So,
And I'm assuming that you have been on location for one of these. What's the
have.
general vibe like when you're all together and you're putting these houses together?
So it's really, I would say it's a really collaborative vibe. So everyone loves it. The teams that come in, they get training, health and safety training, and then they get, here's how to lay a floor. So they have to lug the materials in, they have to put it together, and they really get engaged. It's such a nice team building exercise for them.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for
you.
joining us here in our beautiful studio at the Restored Habitat for Humanity in Grimsby. I wish you all the luck. We'll have you back on. I can't wait to hear more about your project.
Thanks, Kate.